from Arikanda to Semena, from Myra all the way out to Kalkan. Men and women are born free, but everywhere they go, they are in chains. Those are the words of a famous French philosopher by name Voltaire. Man is born free, but is always in chains. And I must say, women as well. Thekla! 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 The young woman, betrothed to a guy by name Thamaris, would not pay attention to the mother. The mother is desperately calling for Thekla to come and listen to her. But Thekla would pay no attention. We are in the era of the Romans. Yes, the era in the Romans, the 1st century AD. And there's a sorcerer who is going around telling stories from city to city. He's on his way to Iconium. Yes, present day Konya. He goes everywhere, and when he tells stories, people are captivated by his electricity. People are captivated by his energy. And this time, I think he's around the Myra Valley. And Thekla is absolutely captivated. No wonder the mom is calling and Thekla would pay no attention. Thekla! I'm sure you know the sorcerer I'm talking about, don't you? Do you know the sorcerer I'm talking about? He's one of yours. Traveling from place to place, itinerant, cannot hold still. But this one, he has a little twist. He never met with Christ, but he got called on the way to Damascus by Christ to go and evangelize. And he would do it anywhere at any cost. And that's how the legend tells us he was passing through a great city by name Myra. For 3 days, Thekla could not leave the window of the house. The mother says she stuck there like a cobweb on the wall. She did not drink, she did not eat, she did not walk away. She was listening to this guy who is called Saul. And he would preach from place to place. In this time, he was preaching about a man he never met. But as a true sorcerer, like we're talking about people we never met, he did his best. And people were coming, lots and lots of them. And Paul was doing his thing. Paul was the first sorcerer before many sorcerers like us. And he had a gift of sharing the good news. And so when Tamiris discovered that this young lady, Thekla, who was betrothed to him, would not listen to him, what did he do? He called out to the governor. The governor discharges men to come and ask Thekla, what is the matter with you? And Tekla's mom washes her hands of the whole matter. That she has been trying everything she could, and Thekla would not listen to her. So this group of soldiers take Thekla apart and present her to the governor. The governor said, but what's the deal with her? I don't see no problem. Maybe the problem is that sorcerer who is going around bewitching people and telling them not to get married. And Thekla says, bye-bye, Mr. Tamiris, I don't want to get married to you. That's the issue at stake. Should a woman who is betrothed to someone refuse to marry him? Is that right? So let me check this side of the amphitheater, of the theater. Is this right for a young woman who is betrothed to say no to marriage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it right?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
All right. Maybe we should check with Thekla herself. That's what the governor did. She found Thekla to be young and innocent. But in the meantime, he asked for Paul to be taken out of the city and thrown into jail. Paul is thrown into jail, and Thecla, under the cover of darkness, escapes to go to jail. She presents something called a mirror object to the jailer and let the jailer give her access to go in. She goes and sits at the feet of Paul, listening to him every single moment. Paul is in chains. And Paul says, it's even good that I'm in chains because it only shows you cannot do great things if you don't go through the pains and the chains of life. Thecla's mother and a couple of others came and discovered that he was there. Paul is asked to come out. Once again, he appears before the governor. This time he's about to be excommunicated from town, to be kicked out of town. Guess what happens? Thecla's mother once again says, this young woman, I have no business with what she's doing. She washes off her hands. This time around, they decided to set up a huge fire. Decision was made summarily to put Thecla on a huge bonfire. The fire was set up. Thecla was brought naked. And even the governor himself was appalled, was moved by the beauty of this young virgin who does not want to pursue marriage, but to follow, quote unquote, the sorcerer. She was asked to go up. She willingly got up onto the logs of fire. A huge fire was set up. And just in time, the fire did not actually light up as everybody expected. And yes, just in time, a massive quake happened. Clouds, heavy rains started to fall. Turns out, fire was extinguished, and Thecla was not hurt by the fire. That is not the first time. That is not the first miracle of this young woman whom we don't even know about in the Bible. She belongs to the Apocryphal Bible. And there were several miracles. So the question is, why don't we know enough about the acts of Paul and Thecla today? I have no clear idea. Some people said it's because that the works were written by a presbyter from Asia, that it somewhat belonged to some other section of another book. Yes, there were several books that were written that way. And there's no clear reason. Is it because she was a woman? Is it because she was doing some clearly, really dramatic things that even Paul himself was not doing? But one thing is for sure. Thecla, who is only mentioned in the Bible maybe once or twice, talks, the book, the Apocryphal Bible, talks about Paul's journey, talks about Paul's intersection with Thecla, talks about the same characters. So there are some clear works that indicate that the job of Paul intersected with work of Thecla. But I don't know what to make of this. I want to ask you, is it right that man and woman should be born free, but everywhere he's in chains?
Thank you.